Welcome to California in Focus. I'm Eliana Kernodle. The California legislature is advancing a bill that would ban library governing bodies from banning a book or requiring that a book be purchased. Joining me to tell us more is the Center Square's California reporter, Kenneth Schrupp. Kenneth, what are the details of this bill and what it would do?
Hey, Eliana. Yeah, this ban would ban library governing bodies from banning books or requiring that a book be purchased. The state legislature's analysis of this bill notes that most ban requests in California and nationwide target, quote, books accessible to minors that include LGBTQ themes or sexual content. This ban would ban library governance bodies' decisions on librarians' programming decisions for events or displays. Notably, the bill doesn't really apply to libraries' maintenance or deaccession policies, suggesting that local library governance boards can still require that books be de-accessed. That's when books are removed for a wide range of content-neutral reasons. Maybe there's multiple copies of a book in the library, or there are copies available in nearby libraries. How nearby is nearby? Really up to the discretion of the board. Possible damage to books, or due to simply being outdated. So this bill would allow for removal of books for other content-neutral reasons that would not be challenged under the First Amendment.
And there's a couple examples of recent decisions by library boards that would be invalidated by this bill. What are some of those kind of real-world examples?
Right. So Huntington Beach, which is in between Los Angeles and Orange County, their city council required librarians at Huntington Beach Central Library to put kids' books that contain, quote, content of a sexual nature into an adult section. The Senate Judiciary Committee noted that some of the titles included in this were Everyone Poops and several books from the series American Girl. The committee also noted that the Huntington Beach City Council is moving forward with a 21-member community library board to review books for sexual content to be either removed from the children's section or not purchased at all. And I assume that means not purchased for the children's section. There is opposition to this bill that does come from Christian grassroots organizations. Real Impact, a Christian grassroots organization, had this sample letter for supporters to fill out to send to legislators. It said, parents across the state are discovering that their child's school libraries are riddled with obscene content, and parents are beginning to call for the removal of these books. They wrote an opposition letter as well directly to the committee that said, the bill states the discretion to determine the content of materials in public libraries shall not be exercised in a manner that discriminates against or excludes materials on the basis that the materials may include sexual content unless that content qualifies as obscene under United States Supreme Court precedent. And then Real Impact said, this does not allow any room for the community to provide input on library materials, but imposes standards that may not align with the local community.
And this doesn't just apply to books. It also applies to any kind of programming that a library might have, right?
Right. This applies to programming and events. And in California, there have been different types of programming and events at library that have been opposed by different sides. Many libraries have drag queen story hour where individuals in drag read to children. And there are also events where there are speakers saying that there should not be trans individuals in women's sports. Last year, librarians at Davis ejected an in-progress forum on policies regarding transgender high school athletes. They said the content of the forum was disrespectful and in violation of the library's code of conduct. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, a First Amendment nonprofit legal organization, said the event was protected by the Constitution under free speech and got the library to allow the event to be rescheduled. I talked to FIRE about this bill, and they offered a very neutral assessment. This is a First Amendment first organization. They said, amid the culture wars, it's important for public libraries to stick to their mission of providing the public with access to a wide range of ideas and information. Government officials need to remember that the First Amendment prohibits them from purging library collections of ideas they disagree with. You shouldn't be able to tell which political party is in power by scanning a library shelf.
So where in the legislative process is this bill?
This bill passed the Assembly and goes to the California Senate Committee on Appropriations. One more thing to add is librarians are people of all kinds of different political affiliations, often reflecting the communities that they're in, sometimes not. And this bill largely shifts things in favor of the librarians from community organizations.
Well, Kenneth, thank you for your insights on this story. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com.